here's another tip. Trump and Elon Musk, they like each other again. And I heard that this is what Charlie Kirk wanted. Somebody said that he really wanted them to come together again and be happy, like each other again. And here it is on threads.com from Daily Wire. Here they are. President Trump and Elon Musk shaking hands at Charlie Kirk's memorial service. Hey, there they are. Nice. Isn't that sweet? I don't know why it keeps on playing. All right, we get it. I'm going to mute that. I don't understand Threads. I'm clicking. Threads is IG, okay? Oh, nice. I can unmute again. Yeah, so am I logged in? I wonder if I can. Darn, should I do it? I've already signed up. I'm Hake. And watch, it's gonna go away. See? Useless. I find that Meta, it seems inferior to far left alphabet, Google. In some ways. Nice. So that's Trump and Elon Musk getting along again, because supposedly they weren't. That's strong personalities, man. Successful people are strong personalities. Trump, Elon, shaking hands. I watched the whole thing of the Trump rally. I said Trump should lead in Turning Point. I watched his whole speech from News Nation. And, yeah, so here he is talking. I found out a bunch of different things about Charlie Kirk that I didn't know. So let me plow through this for you guys. Because shout out to the late, great Charlie Kirk. And shout out to our greatest president, Trump. And then I will get, hopefully, to your calls and your super chats. All right, so here's our greatest president, Trump.
Walk across this track. But this is like an old-time revival, isn't it? An old-time revival.
He's referring to the memorial service, and like an old-time revival. You know, they used to fill the stadiums or something. I don't know.
For millions of Americans, especially young people, it is agonizing and unthinkable to say goodbye to a patriot whose heart still had so much to give. It's so much. Raised in the suburbs of Chicago, Charlie was filled with a patriotic spirit from his youth, and he was an all-American in everything he did. And one of the last things he said to me is, "Please, sir, save Chicago." We're going to do that. We're going to save Chicago from horrible crime.
Isn't that nice? Shout out to our greatest president, Trump.
In high school,
all right.
At Madison.
So he was a great athlete too, by the way. Did you know? Charlie Kirk, athletic. Let's see what he says here. I'm just clicking on my... I made a comment with, and I put timestamps.
He set up a card table and put up a sign.
Okay, so he was at Madison College. It's a liberal college. And he made up a card table and put up a sign saying...
With 3 words.
Cover your ears, kids.
Words. Big government sucks. Can you believe that? That's Charlie.
Nice.
That day, Charlie talked to every student who approached him, most of whom were probably quite a bit older than he was.
Nice. Good job, Charlie Kirk. And that was when he was 18, and I think at that time, that's when he founded Turning Point USA. Anyway, so look at this guy who doesn't look amused. He's not giving out any fake smiles from Bobby Kennedy, RFK Jr. And look, there's his liberal wife. And look, there's that former Democrat gal, the DNI, Director of National Intelligence. And look, there's Kash Patel, whom I like because he said, "I'll see you in Valhalla, Charlie." But here is our greatest president, Trump, talking about what? Oh, yeah, this is the part that made me nervous.
I think we found an answer.
Here. Let me go back a little bit.
I think that's right, make America healthy again. And tomorrow we're going to have one of the biggest announcement, really
By tomorrow, he means today, because this is Monday.
medically, I think in the history of our country, we're going to
I'm
be
scared to even play this.
doing it with Bobby and
Bobby Kennedy.
Oz and all of
Hey, Dr. Oz.
the professionals. I think you're going to find it to be amazing. I think we found an answer to autism. How about that?
Whoa,
Autism tomorrow.
whoa, I disclaim, Trump. I disclaim.
We're going to be talking in the Oval Office and
Isn't that kind of exciting?
the White House about autism,
Let me skip ahead.
how it'd make
Here's talking about Charlie Kirk.
me feel very guilty. You never wanted to let Charlie down. He worked so hard. You just didn't want to let him down. I felt guilty. It'd make me feel very guilty. As president, many people asked me for things, but Charlie was one of the few who always gave more than he took.
Nice.
He was a giver, much more than a taker.
Right on, Charlie Kirk. Rest in peace.
And no matter how big Charlie became, no one was too small for him to notice. He was
All right.
good to everybody.
Yeah, good to everybody. Nice. Here's him talking about the, hearing about the shooting. He was in the Oval Office.
He was doing, think of it, fighting for our country. I will stay up as late as I need to, and I will
He's quoting Charlie, saying he'll stay up as late as he needs to and get up as early as he needs to keep fighting for the country.
never stop fighting for our country. And he did this until his dying breath. That's what he was doing. That's what he was doing. Think of it. Wow. What a horrible moment. I was in the Oval Office when I heard they came in, and it was like a surreal experience, a terrible, terrible. I had some very big people in the Oval Office, and I was in the midst of a very important conversation for our country. Big people, the biggest. And I said, you have to leave now. When they told me that, they told me in front of a group of very powerful people. I said, you have to leave now, right now, please.
Oops.
Right now. You have to leave, go.
Crazy.
By his own determination and skill, Charlie Kirk built Turning Point from...
All right.
And Charlie didn't just bring young people into the movement. All of a sudden, it started to grow by leaps and bounds. By 2024,
he said that they got more young people's vote than in a long time. Here's about 20 minutes or so. Let's see.
A staff member texted him that there were many critics and students who were opposed to his views.
This was the day of the shooting. Charlie Kirk got a text from one of his staff saying there's many people who are very vehemently opposed to him.
And rather strenuously in the crowd. And that actually made him feel good because he wanted to convince them. He understood. He really did. He understood what was right. And he was right about that. A lot of it was based on common sense, by the way.
Yep.
Charlie wrote back to the staff member saying, I'm not here to fight them. I want to know them and love them, and I want to reach them and try and lead them into a great way of life in our country. In that private moment on his dying day, we find everything we need to know about who Charlie Kirk truly was. He was a missionary with a noble spirit and a great, great purpose. He did not hate his opponents. He wanted the best for them. That's where I disagreed with Charlie. I hate my opponent. And I don't want the best for them. I'm sorry. I am sorry, Erica. But now Erica can talk to me and the whole group, and maybe they can convince me that that's not right, but I can't stand my opponent.
Nice.
Charlie's angry. Looking down, he's angry at me now. He wasn't interested in demonizing anyone.
Let me skip ahead a little bit.
He always said the same thing.
Wait, what did he say? Saying I'm skipping just ahead, just a little bit, because I want to hear him talk about the vicious hate from the thugs.
Use me for your will. And that is exactly what God did. When you think, that's exactly what he did. The more success Charlie had, and he was getting more and more successful, the more dangerous his mission became. On campuses all over the country, his quest for open dialogue was met with menacing hate.
Facts.
There were bomb threats, pulled fire alarms, and countless rage-filled radicals who tried to shout him down. It was nasty.
Yep.
I used to say, Charlie, this is nasty stuff you're doing. At one event, police had to build barricades to protect students from an angry mob of thugs.
Yep.
Many of these people, by the way, are paid a lot of money to do this. They're agitators. They're paid agitators. Remember that? When you see they all have the same beautifully printed sign, every sign is identical, comes out of a top-level print.
All right. He's talking about how these guys are getting paid. And what is
the DOJ, who those people are?
Comes largely from the left.
At another college, Antifa terrorists shattered windows, threw rocks, and tried to storm the building where Charlie was speaking. It was a really bad one.
It's crazy because, as Kevin rightly pointed out in the chat a few days ago, Charlie Kirk's just this normal guy. And who else? Ben Shapiro over here. Like, the Black Lives Matter was, like, rioting over Ben Shapiro speaking at Cal State LA. Little baby school. What a mess.
Colleges that had, in theory, only very liberal, or as they like to say, progressive. I call them liberal, but they like to call themselves, because such a beautiful word, progressive. They're the opposite of progressive, if you think about it.
That's right, Trump. But nice. Oh my gosh. Right around 26th, I disclaim this. Let me see if I can play it, though.
Second one, we had a phenomenal day.
He's talking about the election.
But a lot of bad things.
I disclaim this.
Things happened.
But I like how he says it.
And now that's not even questioned. They cheated like dogs.
Whoa.
But we got them back, didn't we, huh?
Wow. He's talking about winning after losing, okay? He lost fair and square, I claim, for the sake of the channel, all right? But I'm amused by that Trump is sticking to his story that they call the big lie. But I don't think it's the big lie. I think they're big liars.
Moment he was overcome.
Here's Charlie, a story about Charlie. He was on air when Trump won in 2024.
With emotion. I've never seen him like this. He was so happy. For a long while, he said nothing. His eyes were filled with tears, and then he buried his face in his hands, and he started crying. That wasn't the Charlie I knew, but in thinking about it, it actually was the Charlie I knew, because he had a tremendous heart. He just wanted what was good for our country, and he saw us going in such a horrible direction.
Yep.
Lovingly, Eric, and this was so beautiful, Erica put a MAGA hat on to cover his bowed head. I like that very much. MAGA, we love. Does everybody love MAGA? Make America great again.
That's right. Isn't that nice? His wife.
When Joe Biden used to get up, remember the speeches? We will stop MAGA. We will stop MAGA. You know, he could barely get the words out. We will stop. I said, can somebody inform him that MAGA means make America great again? How do you say you're going to stop it? That when Charlie finally looked up and spoke, he smiled through the watery eyes and simply said, I am humbled by God's grace. That was his statement that night. I was watching him.
The night that he won.
I was very
Trump
impressed,
won again.
actually.
Very nice. Shout out.
Not just an attack on one.
So this attack on Charlie Kirk, I almost said Charlie Trump, was an attack on America, says Trump.
Man or one movement.
Sorry, here, let me not interrupt it.
Excuses for it are just, and anyone who would make excuses for it are just out of their mind. Charlie's murder was not just an attack on one man or one movement. It was an attack on our entire nation.
That's right.
That was a horrible attack on the United States of America. It was.
So he's gonna give Charlie Kirk the highest civilian honor, the Medal of Freedom, and that's gonna be in D.C., which is very safe. He's talking about the D.C. cleanup in Memphis, and he's gonna clean up Chicago as Charlie Kirk requested, because Charlie Kirk is from the suburbs of that town. And and he said that 11 people got murdered in Chicago, and the Chicago mayor, Brandon Johnson, seems to be fine with that. Crazy.
His killing has been arrested and charged with capital murder. God willing, he will receive the full and ultimate punishment for his horrific crime. It's a terrible thing.
Yeah, that's
because
not
you
good.
can't let that happen.
You can't let an assassination like that just happen.
You can't let that happen. Can't let it happen to a country. The Department of Justice is also investigating networks of radical left maniacs who fund, organize, fuel, and perpetrate.
All right. Right on Trump. He's talked about bringing religion back to America. He talked about how in Calgary, Canada, Korea, Berlin, Tel Aviv, Australia, people are coming back to church and supporting Charlie. Isn't that nice? And he had a big, cheerful heart. Fight, fight, fight. He changed history. Here is the last little bit, the end of this speech. It's a nice, touching moment with Erica. And he says that she's going to be leading TPUSA. Here it is.
Special, it's called Turning Point USA. And under the leadership and love of Erica, it will become bigger and better and stronger than ever before.
That's nice of you to say. Check this out. This is touching.
Children, God bless the United States of America.
This is the end.
Could I ask Erica, please come out? Erica, please come out. Thank you.
Hey, there's the widow. They're hugging. It's nice. What a Chad. And here he sings pretty soon here. Encouraging her. There's Charlie Kirk. She does that I love you hand signal that I learned about from you guys. It's not devil horns. And they start walking and he's...
Thank you very much, everybody.
And
Thank you very much, and good luck. God be with you. Thank you.
This last part is funny before Chris Cuomo steps in, or times in. Watch him. This part's funny. Yeah, we can stay there. Here's Trump. Hey.
Thank you for...
Thanks a lot. What's his name? That's the News Nation thing where Chris Cuomo comes in all loud because he's from News Nation, no longer CNN. Thank you for watching News Nation, blah, 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 blah. Thank you, sir. Here, let me mute. Pretty cool, huh? I thought that was nice. Thank you, our greatest president, Trump. Great little speech there. I thought it was nice. Pretty cool.